that new whip. Hey, who get a do trip?
And we're live.
Welcome to Bet Records, where we talk about hot topics, ideas, and all the shit you really want to hear.
So honestly, it's kind of weird in here with all the lights off. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, it's not. I don't think it's like bad.
Well, are these lights not turned up all the way or what?
No, so these are up all the way, but with the actual light, I don't think we've ever done one with the light off.
Yeah, we have the natural.
They always just turn the fan off.
No, we never have the natural.
Yeah, that's
light.
what I'm saying. We never had the natural light.
So it's kind of weird.
So should I try it or what?
No, because the fan's gonna
That's
turn
what I'm
on.
saying.
All our fans are gonna be watching then, and right now we don't have any fans.
No,
well,
we could have grabbed that one from upstairs.
yeah,
Oh
that
my
fan
God.
we had upstairs.
Yep.
Our one fan.
Yeah.
The one fan that we have.
Yeah, locked in Justin's closet.
Locked in
Gotcha.
Justin's closet. Speaking of Justin, we have
Here he is.
a new past
A returning
full-time guest.
Returning co-host.
for returning co-host. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Justin was gone in China for a couple months.
I thought it was
Oh,
Jamaica.
God.
I thought it was
Oh,
Jamaica.
was it Jamaica?
Yeah.
Oh, Justin, how was Jamaica?
Well,
Yeah,
I went
man.
to Jamaica like 7 years ago in my
Oh.
life. So
Me too,
for everyone
actually.
watching, I was actually in Dickinson, North Dakota for the summer.
Oh, that's
It was
not
a
Jamaica.
blast. I just got back about 4 days ago. I was fulfilling my last requirement for graduation by
Fuck yeah,
doing
bud.
marketing and promotions for
Yeah.
the
Good
Stop
shit.
clapping because they need to hear it in full.
Yep.
So you can applaud after.
Okay. Hold
Did
the
my
applause.
What the hell,
at
what
the
the
end.
hell, Trent?
So I did my internship for the Badlands Bigstick Baseball Club of the
Oh,
Expedition
yeah.
League. Yep.
Hey, there's the clap. There we go. There we go.
Woo!
That's
Jesus.
pretty hyped. What did you learn a lot of stuff out there?
I really did.
Really?
I learned a lot.
So you did the audio for the games, or how did that kind of work? What was your task?
So my role going into it was marketing and promotions
Okay.
with music. So I did all the sound for all the games, and then once the games were not happening, I'd be doing a lot of marketing stuff behind the scenes, a lot of the social media posts. That doesn't take away from the actual social media intern, which I assisted with. So I did a fair amount of posts were mine on the social media, but the majority was the social media interns. So I did contribute.
Cool.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, man. I know you sent me like a couple clips throughout. I think the SpongeBob one was probably the funniest one that I received.
Which one?
The one where the dude like ripped his pants.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that was a good one. I saw that one too.
I saw
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. You want to explain it for everybody here once?
Yeah, I will explain that. So, it was our second to last home series of the game. We were playing against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks out of Grand Forks, North Dakota.
City,
Yep.
baby.
And
Nice.
so, I think it was second or third inning. One of their players hit a triple, rounded the bases, and then I had my walkie-talkie on me, and shout out to Logan Hoff, quarterback at Mayville State, one of the interns, did stats. He radioed up to me, and he said, Justin, if you don't know, the runner on third base, his pants ripped. So if you want to find something real quick, and I just immediately said, say no more, leave it to me.
Say no more. Nice.
I found something, uploaded it through YouTube to MP3 real quick, brought it on Sound Director, and next time that player came up to bat, so usually I would play a walk-up song for the players. Instead, I just left it in complete silence. The PA would say, up is so-and-so, and then I played this sound effect from SpongeBob. All just because I ripped my pants. Entire crowd just starts breaking out laughing.
Yeah,
Everyone's
that's a good
looking
one.
back at me.
That's funny.
And I'm getting
Classic.
texts from some of the friends that I met over the summer. They're just like, okay, that was funny.
That's a classic. Yeah. That's classic.
No one's safe.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Did you ever tip a bison?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
But you did make your way out there.
I did make my way out there. I was one of our outing days.
Mhm.
We went to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park,
That's pretty cool.
and I had actually told my boss about how on my podcast at home I was saying how I wanted to tip a bison, but then I downgraded it because I knew I'm not strong enough to do that. That I said I was gonna ride a bison like Aang from The Last Airbender.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So as soon as I said that to her, and she's like, "Come here, I'll show you something." And we were at the Painted Canyon right outside Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and there was a specific sign that showed the body of a bison, and each part of it was labeled. and on top it says, "This is what's gonna happen if you pet it." On the head it says, "Nope." Belly, you're going to the hospital. Nope. Back, vacation over, and all that.
So there's no safe zone, huh?
There is bison are majestic creatures, but they are very hostile.
Yeah.
I got
that
really
makes
close to one though. One drove by one walked right by our car.
I was
while
gonna say one
crossing.
drove right by you, bro. Like shit. Did they forget their turn signal or what? Like, what?
sense. Nothing to do a drive-by, bro.
Yeah.
Do a
Stick
quick
my hand
drive-by.
out the arm, and I gun him down.
I got it.
Do bison move?
No, they don't.
I'm
What
sure
sounds do
they,
they
No,
make?
they don't.
like do some kind of like noise, like.
What sound do they make?
So
They
it's
don't
like,
moo. I'll tell you who
not a-
does moo. The Fremont moo. After we swept them this season at
oh
home.
my god.
Oh.
Wow, that's some
Including a
North
Travis.
Dakota banter.
Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Game two ending with the Travis Ray Jr. walk-off single. Way to go, Travis.
Way to go,
Shout out Travis.
Shout out Travis from
Albany State in Georgia.
Albany State in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Up and
You're
coming.
You're the
And I
you're the
will say,
realist.
there was not just Travis, there was a lot of young talent on that team.
Really?
Like, it was
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous.
How'd your season end?
We made it to the playoffs, but unfortunately we got swept by the Surs Valley Saber Dogs.
They're pretty good.
They won the championship.
Oh, really?
Oh,
They ended up
shit.
going on to win.
You know, how I always see it is that if your team loses going through, at least make it the team that wins the championship.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
fair.
Nope. 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 No.
you
No.
don't
No.
think
No.
so?
Why not?
You disagree, huh?
No, I completely 100% disagree with you
Really?
on that.
Interesting.
Because now they can tie your name to their story. This is how we did it. We beat these bums. We beat these losers.
Oh my God.
It was easy. I don't want them attaching their name to ours and their victory to.
Yeah, but then if you get beat by like a team and then they get shit on in the championship, then you're like, wow, they beat us.
Yeah.
Then
that's
you
why
feel
I
bad
don't
about
think
yourself.
So,
At
yeah,
least
I
if they
agree with that,
win.
yeah.
Then you're like, okay, well they beat those guys too, and they're pretty good.
That's
See,
what I
from a
would say.
sports perspective, I never saw it that way. So, like, you'll see, let's say a football team's playing one team one week and then the next team next week. The team that's playing the week after will look at that result and be like, oh, they beat this team and we lost to them badly. That doesn't mean anything. The same team doesn't show up every single time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
People
true, but,
people act like sports are so consistent. They really aren't.
No.
Athletes are not consistent. It's impossible to be 100% consistent.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
I
true.
mean, look at football foot.
I mean, yeah, it's super inconsistent. We do got some big news in football. We have a big podcast here scheduled. Honestly, I didn't think we'd be starting with sports, but I'm okay with it. I
Makes
think we're
sense.
here.
Makes sense. Get the light content
let's
out
do
of the
it.
way
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
I will-
Justin Fields.
Before you say anything, I just want to give a shout out to everyone I met in Dickinson, North Dakota, the Badlands
Yeah.
Bigstick
Alright,
baseball
hell yeah.
team, all the coaches, and all the players that I met. You guys are great, and I can't leave out my roommate Max Stapleton
Nice.
from New York, University of Wisconsin-Madison. You're the best, bro. I also have to give a shout out to Hannah Carbon, Leah Brown, Christine Fox, Vanessa Wademan, Logan Hoff, Hayden Witt, and last but certainly not least, Sam Henderson, who started a new job this week in Salina, Kansas.
Nice.
Good
Nice.
luck, bro.
Nice.
Yeah,
Shout out Kansas.
Shout out to the interns, baby.
There
The
you go.
interns of the interns.
The interns of the Badlands Big Sticks, baby.
Big sticks, baby. That's
Yep.
how it is. All right, Justin Fields.
What do you got with Justin
top
Fields,
of
bro?
Holy fuck. Does this kid look like an animal? Holy shit. I don't know if you guys watched the 2 touchdowns he had, but on that touchdown run specifically, that was probably my favorite play that he made.
Okay, I don't think I saw
So-
the run.
He pulls out, he's got a free runner. He does a little spin move. Now, most rookie quarterbacks at this point in their journey, if they get pressure early on in their first NFL game, preseason, whatever it is, a lot of them tend to just quick turn and just start running because that's what they do in college.
Yeah, that's what Johnny Manziel did.
That's
when
what
he
Johnny
entered.
Manziel did. That's what a lot of these guys do. Lamar Jackson, he does the same shit. What I liked about Justin Fields is when he took that initial spin off and started rounding that player, he didn't look like he was about to run. He kept his feet moving, but his head was perfectly upright, and you could see him going through his progressions while he was still running towards the sideline. he didn't see any of them, and then he busted through. And probably my favorite part is he actually, before going into the end zone, he tucked the ball and lowered his shoulder, which you don't see a lot of quarterbacks do, mainly because injury reasons. But I see it as just I don't know, just like an intensity about him.
Just him more so moving the ball more confidently than we would expect. What was it? This is their first preseason game, right? Yeah.
Game.
Yep. You know, and the only takeaway, you know, to be the devil's advocate, you know, I mean, they're playing against the second, third string defense. You know what I mean? In some cases, not all the time, but
it's not
you're still
so much.
saying.
I wasn't so much watching about that he scored 2 touchdowns. Oh my God, he's gonna be a touchdown machine.
He ran through the third string safeties and shit. Yeah.
That wasn't really what I was looking at. I was more looking at his process.
The movement and attempts. More
Yeah,
so
because I saw him going through his progressions, and again, when a quarterback gets pressured early in their career, usually they just go to the run because that's what they know and that's what they're taught in college.
Yep.
So if I were to ask you, which quarterback of the past does Justin Fields remind you of the most?
God, he's kind of he's kind of a blend, honestly.
He kind of gives me Michael Vick vibes.
Yeah, I kind of get Michael Vick. I don't know if he's that fast.
Nobody will ever be as fast as Michael Vick. Nobody.
Yeah, but he's just
Prove me wrong.
True.
Justin Fields, he just looks really confident in the pocket. He doesn't look like he was like freaking out or anything. Just all of his movements looked really fluent. Like he already picked up the offense or whatever it is. So I really think that the Bears are going to have a tough time deciding who they're going to start week 1. Because
it's Andy Dalton is the other Bears quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's journeyman Nick Foles.
Yeah. If Justin Fields puts out this same performance in week 2 and 3 of the preseason, because you know they're going to play him again.
Yep.
If he puts out that same performance, I think Matt Nagy's going to have a really hard time putting in Nick Foles or the Red Rider over
But at the same
Justin
time,
Fields.
you want to see how he's doing in the preseason. You got to be careful in the preseason.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Because
True,
a
yeah,
lot
he's
of
skeptical.
stars in past years have been hurt in the preseason.
Yep.
That's
True.
why I kind of like they reduced the preseason. Honestly, I
agree.
think the preseason should honestly only be 2 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a joke.
If
in
not,
general.
even 1.
I thought it
like-
worked really well with no preseason last year. Yeah, the first game, that first week, it was a fantasy obliteration. Dude.
Yeah.
Everybody was putting up like 20 points, but I mean, the second game was a lot better. So yeah, well maybe 1 preseason game or something.
Yeah, 1 or 2, and it's at the end of the day, it's for the coaching staff and the teams to figure it out. It's not they don't care. They don't care who shows up for the games. That's why the tickets are $10 a piece
No,
for the
they're
Viking
not.
games. They're about 50, 60 though.
They were for this preseason
Oh
home
yeah,
opener.
this year might be a little different.
It was $500 for nosebleeds, and it was if you
No.
wanted lower level, it was about $800 to $1,000 for decent
For the
seats.
last
No
Vikings
way.
game.
For the preseason Vikings game. Yep.
No, I
I'm
definitely
calling
saw him.
BS
I
on
definitely
that.
saw him for $150 per seat.
Yep.
Promise.
I'm calling.
And a very high level, maybe.
Yeah, and in the nosebleeds probably.
$150 though for nosebleeds. That's obnoxious.
I'm calling it.
Still is a
because
lot, but
My dad has season tickets for the Patriots, and I've showed you pictures of my seats, right?
Yeah.
I was looking online, like where we sit first level, and the preseason tickets were like $200.
For years, maybe.
Yes, but you got to remember it's preseason. No one gives a shit.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
It doesn't
Minnesota,
mean-
we haven't had sports for a long.
But you have to
fucking time.
understand the preseason
Did New
does
England
not
even-
mean anything.
Did they have fans last year?
No, they didn't.
They didn't have fans either. Did they go on COVID lockdown?
Yeah, kind of, pretty much, and that's what.
What is
So
kind of
this
pretty
is
much
kind of,
mean?
you guys may disagree with me on this. I feel like that contributed to Cam Newton not having a good season, because if you watch Cam Newton in the past, he thrives off the crowd energy.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
through
yeah,
every
sure,
single game,
Sauce
every
players like
first
that.
down, he's throwing the Superman. He's like yelling at the crowd, giving the balls to kids. When you take that away from him, you take away the kid
Oh,
in
sure.
him,
The
because
motivation.
when
The
he's playing,
confidence.
he plays with the kid inside of him.
No, I feel that. I
That
respect
contributed. Like the crowd being taken away was really bad for some quarterbacks and some players.
Well, even defense, I feel like it's a lot harder because when you got them like 3rd and 10, and you hear that crowd booming in your back, as a defensive lineman, you're like, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yep.
I'm gonna sack this guy, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that really hurt Seattle.
True,
Where
true.
yeah, when then you know you don't get that. It's like it's just dead quiet in there. I mean, I guess the fake noise probably helped after a while, but
And you know,
So dumb.
it's funny that you bring up the artificial sound noise. When they said, okay, we're going to do that, the Atlanta Falcons probably raised their hands and like, what the fuck? Because in
Yeah.
2015, they got in trouble for that, and they lost a draft pick, and now everyone's doing
Really?
it. They're like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah, they
well,
did.
but they were
Ah,
stacking it on top of their crowd noise already to make it even louder.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, that's pretty sus.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
that is kind of sus. It's pretty sus.
it's one thing, I guess, if you got no fans.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you got a 70,000 pack stadium and then you got a bunch of fake noise too, it's probably loud as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and you think that they're not going to still do some of that? Because a lot, I mean,
I bet there's still gonna be some.
we'll see who actually goes to games, but I mean, there's teams left and right saying, "Oh, if you don't show proof of vaccination, you're not allowed in." And there's
Yep,
other
yep, I
teams
saw
like the Raiders aren't even accepting unvaccinated fans with
Yep.
a recent like negative
Correct.
test of COVID. They're just like,
Same
nope.
thing with the Saints.
Saints too.
Yep, Saints too,
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think that we're even gonna go back to full fans for football games in
Yeah.
a month? You know.
I think it'll
You-
depend on the states and the stadiums. Yeah.
I personally think that if people are balling up to go to these sports events, I think they're just gonna get the vaccine.
That's your main.
Yeah.
Especially if they keep giving out these crazy incentives too. I mean,
And $100 wasn't that crazy, bro. I thought that made me think about it for
that's
a
what
second.
I'm saying. That you thought about it. What if it was like $500?
Then I would do
I just
it. Yeah.
seriously hate
I'd do it.
the excuse me, the protocols that like NFL players are getting. This is what you can't do
Yeah.
if you're unvaccinated. You can't do any media. You
Yep.
can't do any interviews, and you have to be tested like 4 or 5
All the
times a
time,
week
Yeah.
Yep.
just because you don't want to
Yep.
get a vaccine.
I'm sure almost daily. I know we talked about it a little bit on our last one, but yeah, they can't even if they're family visits, they
Yep.
can't see their family. They can't go out to
Well,
like
it's-
team dinners or anything either.
Yeah, I mean it's just going back to the COVID thing last year, but then again, I have the same argument with like basketball when like LeBron's like talks politics and shit. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're getting paid millions on millions on millions of dollars to play a fucking sport. Just shut the fuck up. Go play your sport. If you don't want your $20 million a year contract, a billion other people in the world would love to have your contract.
See, that's not my biggest problem with LeBron James. It has nothing to do with the political stuff. Well, it does, but it doesn't have to do in the aspect that you're saying. My aspect is like all this human rights stuff, like yet how much money he's making from Nike. It has nothing to do with like salary. Like his endorsement deals are what pissed me off. It's just like he's saying advocating for human rights, but yet his millions are made from
yeah.
slave labor. That's my problem with him. He won't speak out against that.
I
Well,
suppose.
I don't really give a shit how much these people make, but like Patrick Mahomes is a good example. That dude, he just hangs out, parties.
And he's on State
And
Farm
it-
every once in a
not
while.
really.
He says his
Doesn't
State
really
Farm
party.
commercial. He does football. You know, he does all that stuff, but he's not like, oh, we should do that. If they ask him about it, yeah, he'll say a couple things, but
Yeah,
like he's not gonna be like, yeah, we won this and we should stop slave trafficking
Yeah.
in Liberia. You know, like I don't know, like he's just. I just feel like he's not doing that as much.
Q-Tip, I can hear you breathing.
What?
Like heavily.
I'm not even breathing.
Yeah,
That's
can you
bad.
just like stop breathing?
Yeah,
That's
stop breathing.
literally
Yeah, but it
literally,
sounds
like
like a-
out of my nose.
It sounds like
You're not breathing,
like
I
that.
wasn't out of my, not out of my mouth.
but are you breathing?
Did any of the viewers catch that? Am I
don't
crazy?
know. I don't have
You
headphones
two
on.
heard that.
I don't know how close I need to be or not.
Yeah. But
He goes. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, Mahomes, like I never hear him speaking about any of that stuff. Never.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't even see him partying either.
Dude's-
like he's
dude's-
engaged now and he has a kid now too,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
dude's
he's
one of the richest sports players in the world, and he's not doing any of that shit. You know, it's like, dude, you're getting paid to play a game. I get you're like you can reach a lot of fans and stuff, but there's got to be a line where it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up and just play. Like, when they complain about like this COVID shit, it's like, dude, if you don't want to get your COVID shot to make $20 million this year, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, and that's.
If I was making 20 mil and they said all I need to do is play football and get a COVID shot, fuck.
All right,
But then again, some players aren't making that money.
and that too.
Making $1 million.
Here's
Dude,
the
you're still
question
making
for
$1
you.
million.
Here's the question. If you got paid $50 million to be whatever fucking second
Messi.
backup kicker,
Yeah.
of the Jaguars because they're
Yeah.
fucking trash, but you had to get a shot of something you didn't know what it was.
We know what it is.
That is the argument from the players and everyone else that hasn't gotten it.
That's
yet.
fine, but if I'm the backup kicker making 50 G's this year, do I want to take this shot to make my 50 G's and have the opportunity to win the starting job and make millions? Or do I want to skip this COVID shot, go back and do other job do you think a
Hey, man.
person like this is going to do?
Yeah,
What do you think?
Hey, when Kurt Warner went undrafted, he was bagging groceries.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Okay, you want to
exactly.
bag groceries
And
for...
now he's Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion.
Well,
There you
but
go.
that's what I'm saying. Do you want to give up that opportunity
Yeah.
just to bag groceries for $15 an hour, which is, I guess, the minimum
If you're
wage
lucky.
now.
Yeah.
At most places fit minimum wage, but I mean, again, even if I was in that scenario where I'm only making 50
Yeah.
G's, all I have to do is get a shot, and then I get an opportunity to possibly make millions.
Yeah. Or go somewhere else. Yeah.
If you're a competitor, in my eyes, I see no reason why you should let a stupid little shot stop you from getting your drive and having your passion to play.
See, my other thing with that is, like, you guys know I'm a fight fan. Like, Dana White even said he's not going to make it mandatory for his fighters to get vaccinated. And his reason, they're all grown adults. They can make their own damn decision.
Exactly.
Like, what is the NFL's right to say, you have to do this?
Exactly.
You're an adult.
It's-
You can make your own
I
decisions.
agree, but at the end of the day, they're a business.
My body, my choice, bitch. If you were in that scenario, Josh,
They're a
I get it.
business.
That would be your choice.
They're a
That's what you would
business,
do.
though.
If I was in that scenario, I probably
But
still
also-
wouldn't
That's
get
fine.
it.
Then you would
Also-
get cut
I would say also
because it's a
too,
business and it's not your decision.
The
at the
NFL,
end
the
of the day.
NFL does also have to play by the country that they reside in's rules. You know what I mean? In America, you know, and America takes COVID very seriously in its
Yeah.
industry, so it's gonna
So,
just
The
falls
UFC is
flat.
based out of the UFC.
Yeah, but the UFC also has their fight island if they really want to. They could literally
Yeah.
just play by their own rules. If
And
they really want to.
the problem is most of the COVID companies are also in America,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that there's higher powers that be, and I'm sure these NFL bigwigs are invested in these other COVID companies, so they know if all their players get shots, they're gonna make a shit ton of money because then they can announce, like they did today, Atlanta Falcons 100% vaccinated,
Yep.
and then all the people in Atlanta are gonna be like, oh, maybe it's okay to do it. Maybe it's okay because all the NFL players have their
And
shot.
listen, I recommend getting the vaccine. I totally do. But if you don't want it, that's your choice. Like, the way I see it is just like, okay, it's your funeral. It's kind of like, how do we put it? If you live in a high crime neighborhood and you want to own a gun, you have the choice not to have one or to have one. If you
Yep.
don't want to have one, okay, then you're not going to be protected if something does
It's a
happen.
fair point. It's a fair
Yep.
point.
You know, and unfortunately, businesses day by day are raising the stakes of people getting it. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just
We'll see. $500 though, you're in though.
$500. I'd be in.
Alright, I'd be in too. Q-Tip, you in on $500?
He's already in,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm already in, but I would. Yeah,
He's already got two-
$500 would be nuts.
He's already got 2 arms in, bro.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you guys better
Justin,
you guys
got
better
it?
hurry up and get your booster shots though. I heard the Biden administration is getting these booster shots rolling here.
$500 for what?
Like,
Get your
let's
COVID
say
shot.
that's a vaccine incentive.
He's already got his.
I already
too.
got mine.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
already got his too.
Alright, well, you guys are fucked.
Huh.
So, $500? Yeah, I'm in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That. Did you guys already hear about the booster shots or no?
Yeah.
You have to
well,
get another one?
Yeah,
the
dude, that's
third
what I'm
booster
saying.
shot said we're coming.
In one hand, I think it's stupid because they told us to. In the other hand, they already told us before it came out that you'd probably need a booster shot.
Really?
So,
Yeah, there were talks
I
about
missed
just
that
when
one,
they were
okay.
announcing the vaccines, yeah. And then
Yeah,
now,
I-
especially with the Delta variant arising, it
yeah,
makes sense that there
I
would be a thing.
get it, but
I will tell you guys this. When I was in North Dakota all summer, none of those restrictions existed.
Oh,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody
sure.
gave a single fuck.
No one
Oh,
talks about
now
North
it's-
Dakota or South Dakota. They never did
There
none
was-
of that ever.
There was maybe out of 2 businesses with signs that said masks, but they said
Recommended,
Yeah.
yep.
They didn't say you have to. Other than that, I would go to bars. No one had a mask.
Oh, yeah.
Went to the gym. 1 or 2 had a mask, but they wanted to wear it. That's their choice.
Yep.
Like, go for it.
Dude, at this
And other than that, like pools were open.
Yep.
The hot tub, the
Yeah.
spas,
Oh, that's nice.
everything was open there, and everyone was happy there. That's one thing I'm gonna miss about North Dakota.
I mean,
It's just the freedom there.
It's
Yep.
kind of
The freedom to make your own choices.
you kind of still have that here. You don't-
Yeah.
Hey, but not in New
That's right.
York.
Yeah, you don't see you don't
yeah.
see masks that often the same time.
No, and I
Yeah.
think it's at the point too where 90% of people, at least in Minnesota, are gonna think
What's up?
you probably want to turn that off.
Yeah, I'd
I
shut
still
that
hear
off.
it.
Yeah, the PlayStation's on right now. But yeah,
Just click the power button on the remote.
with the way things are going in politics,
You have
about
to
the
aim it at
COVID,
the
I'm
TV.
just, I'm
Yeah, aim it at the TV.
very,
Oh, you
very
got it?
nervous that things will
Oh.
go back to being shut down again.
I
And
know.
do I
I
have it? Do you
just
still hear
can
it?
not afford that. Sorry for those who are listening to me over the banter. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think
have no idea what
I
he
don't think
said.
another shutdown.
That
will
shows
come. I don't
that
think
shows
anybody,
that shows that you're here for me and not these 3 clowns.
I don't think anybody in America will stand for another shutdown. Even
Love
the
you
people,
guys.
Even the people who are like really pro COVID.
Sorry, we're trying to figure out who the clowns are now, bro. Like,
But even in the beginning, I will say this: when the shutdown started last March, like everyone was like, okay, like let's see what's going on, and then
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 months in, everyone was like, okay, like we understand what's going on, like I was telling people this in North Dakota, like, listen, COVID will never go away.
I don't
It
think
will
not
never go.
completely. No.
Like I even it'll never completely go away. I was saying to one of the interns, I think it was Christine, I was telling her it'll never go away. Like, I told her, like, polio is still around. It's extremely rare, yes, but it's
Yeah.
still around. The Spanish flu is still around. Very rare, too. Less than 100 cases per year. Still around.
Yeah. No. That's why I say like at this point, like it's gonna get rid of slowly, but like. What's gonna cost now is like when people choosing not to get vaccinated. It's just that people are gonna die until the strain goes out. Well, that's what's gonna happen. Especially I feel like when schools open back up in a month or so, that's gonna be a really big one.
Yep. And there's an old saying I like to say, you have rights in the United States to do what you want, aka you have the right to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Now, Trenton, I know you talked to me earlier about this. You said something about masks at St. Cloud State, some ridiculous rule.
Yeah.
Or was that Q-Tip who said that?
Well, I was talking to you, Trenton, about it. So
Okay, somebody sent it to me.
Since I work on campus, like we hear about things before they just get announced, like
Yeah.
new policies. So like on the 5th, they just announced that even if you're vaccinated, you needed to start wearing a mask on campus again.
Even if you're vaccinated?
Yeah, they want people who are on campus to wear masks no matter what.
Yep.
And so now it seems like they're about to make an announcement here where if you're on campus and you're vaccinated, if you're on campus at all, you need to either be vaccinated, still wear your mask too, or you need to show up with a test like every day. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like every couple days or
Yeah,
every
that sounds
day.
obnoxious.
But yeah, like if you're not vaccinated and you want to be on campus, you have to like have a test. I think.
Who's gonna check for that? Are they gonna have hall monitors?
I don't know.
Where's
I
your
don't know
where's your
what's gonna
COVID
happen,
test,
but
bro?
That's
Like,
the
gonna
where's
have-
your-
that's the
they're gonna
announcement
have
that's about to
the
go out.
part-
See, to me, that sounds like there's trigger warning. To me, that sounds like there's going to be Nazi Gestapos everywhere asking for your papers.
Yep.
That's exactly what that is to
Trigger
me.
warning.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know
I
what's
feel
gonna
like some
happen.
people won't like what I just said, but that basically is what it is. People stopping
Yeah.
you. Okay, let's
Because-
see this.
And especially in college, there's not like a homeroom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
Like
You're
everyone's in a
walking
different
around.
class.
Yeah,
You know,
everybody
like
comes in on campus from different points from
Right.
different
Yeah.
Open your
areas.
eyes.
yeah, not everyone has a class on Monday. Some only have one. Or
Where's
it
your
might not be
card?
in I don't know.
You know, I think it's
Are
really
you a
crazy.
student here?
I look back to high school, and we were getting up at 7 in the morning to go to school, and
Yeah.
someone has a 9 a.m. class, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
like, it used to be way worse for you, so stop complaining.
Yeah, now we still got to wake up at 7 a.m. for work, so it
Yeah, at least you
sucks.
get paid.
I don't have to do that.
At least we get
At
paid
least
this
not
year.
yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
No.
Still
Alright.
job searching right now for full time.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be
Are you-
working at Coburn's. as
Are
a
you looking for some stuff with
Oh,
your
nice.
internship or what? Or with your school stuff or what?
See, it's very limited because if it's one thing I did learn this summer from the sports industry, it takes years to get like those big positions that
Oh, for
some
sure,
big
yeah.
guys
Yeah.
have. Like you'll see like all the Vikings guys like working in front offices. They did not. They're in their mid 40s, and I asked there's one that I met when we went on a tour of the Vikings practice facility, and he was telling me. I asked him like, so how long have you been in this position? He said less than a year.
Really?
Wow.
And he said, this is my first, like, major position.
Hmm.
It's just crazy how like, everyone goes into their full-time jobs in our ages, and they're like, okay, here we go. This is it. And I'm like, no, it's not it.
Yeah.
This is the building blocks right here. This is where it starts for you. This
Yep.
isn't the tip of the pyramid.
Yep.
True. It's all true. It's very true.
Yep. It all goes up over time.
Like, my dad even told me he didn't find his real career until he was in his late 30s. He was working insurance, getting bitched at by people on the phone all the time, like, oh, I'm not covered! And he was just like, and he waited it out, and he ended up getting a gig in the DEA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy stuff. You know what else is crazy? NFL preseason. Circling back, baby. We didn't even touch on it. That's how I'm kind of.
What else you got?
Yeah,
Because
we
nobody
got a
cares
little
about the
off there
preseason.
on
It
the
doesn't
right.
Yeah, I
mean
thought we talked about
anything.
that last week, bro. No
Trey
one cares
Lance-
about the
Yeah,
preseason.
but now that we've had a
Oh, but now
game,
we care. Now we care. It's
We've
every
had a
week.
game.
Yeah, because we were talking about like the preseason, bro.
Yeah.
It was one game.
And it
One
was like
game
the
for
Hall of
every-
Famer bullshit.
Yeah. But now we've seen all the guys. We've seen Trey Lance.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Holy buckets.
I
He's
saw
got a
so many stupid
cannon.
highlights. I can't remember what I even watched. So, but
Trey Lance has a cannon. Justin Jefferson, are we worried about him? He didn't play last week.
no,
They said
I
he's
did
still
see he
injured.
went back to practice either today or yesterday though.
Okay,
So
is he supposed to play this week? I know that's kind of
Um,
a big concern for the Vikings.
really, and I wouldn't even say that, dude. Like, do you think they're gonna play Kirk Cousins in
This
preseason?
week, I think they'll probably pay him a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. I just don't think they play most of those guys. Like, we know Zeke isn't gonna play at all in the preseason. I feel like even Justin Jefferson, he's supposed to be that big of a breakout star this year. Just let him chill, bro. Do the practices, do the warm ups. Get the stuff in there.
reps.
But if he's not gonna have his front line of guys, which is fine, doesn't need a line, but not his main quarterback anyways. Like, it's playing against some random third string. Cornerback.
Random bullshit.
It's almost
yeah.
not, it's almost not worth it. Maybe he gets a couple of touches within the next couple of weeks here. We'll see, but I don't see that being a concern at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he'll be just fine week 1 and be good to go.
So we got that going. I mean, who else we got? I mean, who else? We saw. God, what's his name? He's on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we also saw Tim Tebow get
I was
cut by
just gonna chime
Jacksonville.
in.
Did you guys see that shitty block?
No, did he
Why
play?
yeah, he
Really?
played. They cut him because of that garbage block he had.
No, I didn't even see
Dude,
it.
so he went up like he was gonna block this guy, and instead of like pushing him off or doing it,
Yep.
he like dove at the guy's thighs or something, missed the guy completely, got up, did a little spin thing, and then bumped into one of his own players, and then
Oh,
like
my.
looked around and was like he didn't know where he was.
Weird.
Like, dude, he looked so fucking bad.
Damn.
What do you expect? He's been out of the NFL for how long now?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, they're still doing shit to
Yeah,
get,
that's-
They cut him
but-
real
Minor
bad.
league
Alrighty.
baseball.
Yeah, it's still
Cut
some
it
shit,
It's just-
bro.
real
It's
bad.
crazy because in his first NFL season, we're like, wow, this guy's really good. The first playoff game he had, I think it was Broncos Steelers. First game of overtime through the touchdown pass. Everyone was like, okay, this kid's legit. And then they shit the bed against the Patriots in the playoffs. And then there was videos of him in practice, like trying to throw a spiral, and it was like a knuckleballer.
Oh god.
You haven't seen that video?
I don't remember that. No.
It is. It's
Weird.
pretty painful to watch for an NFL quarterback.
Patriots fucked him up, huh?
Yeah, it was like
Huh?
45 to 20 something.
Oh, it's
Funny.
not even.
I was at that game.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Heck.
Name a famous game in Patriots history, and I was probably there.
Hey, Josh, you got one? All of them.
All
I
of
got,
them.
nah, I got
Surprise.
nothing. Got your hat.
Got your hat, baby.
Just kidding.
Never say that to
But
me
did
ever
you?
again.
Was Lawrence out there though for Jacksonville or what?
Yeah, he played a little bit. He didn't really do anything. But again, we still got to see him play. We got to see some stuff. I mean, there wasn't a lot of these big names that played. Like
Right.
Najee Harris didn't play.
You know, we saw him in the game that didn't matter anyways, so it's fine.
Yeah, so, I mean, there was a little bit.
Oh my God!
Holy
Oh Jesus! We've had a technical
Exploded,
failure in the
bro.
studio.
So, unfortunately, I really wish that we had cameras on for this podcast. Trenton just exploded
We're gonna
a
just laugh
seltzer
too.
can,
All over
and
his
it's
laptop.
all over his laptop, all over his mic. He's
On my
desperately
knee.
trying to clean it
The
up
mic
like
is
a
actually
house
good.
husband.
It's right here.
You got the table over here, too.
Yeah, and my hair too. I
And
got it in my hair.
knee,
Well, hey, it's a good
my
thing you
poor
didn't open
knee.
a Q-tip. Hey.
Yeah,
Get
but
over there, Justin.
Yeah, those things must be pretty carbonated.
yeah, from the NFL preseason, I haven't really been paying attention to it because I'm just
That was
like I just don't get people who just sit and watch the preseason because it really doesn't mean anything.
No, I
Half
watched
of
the
those
highlights.
players that you see on there aren't even going to be on the roster. The whole point of preseason is to make your final cuts
Yep.
and see, okay, who can I work with and who's just a lost cause.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. But it's definitely I like to watch the highlights, especially these like big name guys who you know will still be on the team. Main one is Justin Fields, obviously. But
Do you have him on your team or what?
Yeah,
That's why you're watching him like a hawk, huh?
yeah. I think he's.
So,
Gonna be
Josh, I haven't watched any of the highlights. Did you happen to
Dude,
see
he got it all
how
over the wall? What the?
he got it on the American flag? How dare you?
Jesus fuck.
I'll strangle
Really?
him after the
all
show, but
over his mic too.
yeah.
Alright, just a couple.
Oh my
But did
There
you
we
happen
are.
to see?
alcohol abuse.
What the fuck? Dude.
But I still haven't seen any highlights yet, Josh. Can you tell me if you saw any from Cam Newton or Mac Jones?
I don't think Cam played. I know Mac Jones played for a little bit, but I don't think he really played either. I think they both just, I don't think Cam played at all, but I think Mac Jones took a couple reps.
So I've been saying to all my Patriots friends, I'm telling them Cam Newton will start week 1. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
I would say so. I don't think
Yeah,
Mac
I think
Jones
that's
is
pretty
ready.
common. It's-
I don't think Bill Belichick wants to play him right away either.
I think he's gonna play the veteran.
Yep.
And I think Cam is, listen, love him or hate him, I think he is like a good role model to look up to with his experiences. I really think he is.
Except for his silly hats.
His silly outfits. Yeah. Hey, style, man.
Hey, so
Well.
you gotta enjoy themselves somehow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what is it? What else is he supposed to spend his big paycheck on? More hats.
More fucking hats. You know who's not spending their paychecks on hats?
Who?
Who's that?
The United States government.
Oh, that's for damn sure.
After this Afghanistan thing. Well, maybe, because they just froze all their bank accounts.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Dude,
the
what if they
Afghan-
are buying hats?
They froze all Afghans' government bank accounts, so maybe they're using that money to buy a bunch of hats.
Jesus.
What kind of hats do you think the U.S. government's getting? Some Make America Great Again hats or what?
Oh my god.
No, they're getting Build Back Better hats.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole thing in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Um,
Here, everybody. It's Afghanistan.
Oh.
There you go.
There you go.
Grammar.
It upsets
Get it
Justin.
right.
It
Alright,
upsets
so
Justin when you don't
out
pronounce
here
it
in
correctly.
Afghanistan,
Afghanistan.
Alright, who cares?
Afghanistan.
Alright, we're
It's
over
a
it.
5-second joke.
Afghanistan.
No, that was definitely a half second, like a half-minute joke. But.
Yeah, we got some pretty intense stuff. If you haven't seen, I don't know, stop living under a rock or something. But if you haven't seen all of it, a lot of progression. The U.S. Army or military was supposed to pull back by the end of this month or pull out of Afghanistan. So they've slowly been pulling back on their territories and everything.
So the original plan was supposed to be pull out by September 11th.
Which would
That
have
was
been
their
the
plan.
20th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Really? I thought the plans was
August
supposed to be by.
31st.
I thought it was supposed to be May. This May.
no,
like
never May.
at the beginning of this year,
Ugh.
Joe Biden said he wanted them out by September 11th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Some kind of like.
But hey, with the
Like, he wanted to
Biden
be
administration, who knows what they're talking about?
I'll
So-
just say
Well,
I was
plans
really
been going on for a long time.
so. While I was sitting at home today, once I finished my PowerPoint and everything, I watched. So all I've been hearing about Afghanistan is bad, bad, bad. And I was like, let me look for some good. So I came across this YouTuber who makes his living by traveling to the strangest, most dangerous countries and just gets his insight. And he went to Afghanistan, and let me just say, from like the footage he showed, it is a very beautiful country.
Oh, sure.
And I'm not even... It was beautiful. The people were nice. The food looked incredible. And it's just so unfortunate that everything with the Taliban gets overshadowed by such a great country that they have. Because when you Google Afghanistan, the first thing you're going to get is bombs going off. And they're just immediately just skipping over just like the great things that country does have to offer.
Well, it's just, I mean, they've been at war for fucking 40 years or something.
Yeah,
now,
it all started with the Soviet Union.
So, I mean, I don't know. What else do you get? I mean, it's just a war-ridden country.
Yeah.
It's a super third-world country at this point. I mean, there's just a lot going on. The U.S., like I said, they're pulling out. They got 6,000 troops going to be down by Friday. They're only at the airport is where they're all at.
Yep.
All of our troops are at the airport. I think there's 3,000 on the ground right now, along with about 800 from the British, I believe. I know Germany has some troops on the ground. I know Canada has some troops on the ground as well, helping out.
And I think there's a little bit of French in there, too.
Yeah, because they're trying to all evacuate their embassies and whatnot. My biggest thing is, I honestly think the Taliban, I think they're a different group than what they were in the 90s.
You know, and that's what they're reporting. They're doing like public announcements to the citizens and stuff. I saw, we're, if you're a woman, you're okay. Because basically it was, if you're a woman, like when they controlled it a long time ago, basically they couldn't leave the house. They couldn't, go on the streets or nothing. Had to keep, couldn't see a single part of their skin or whatever. Had to do the head things and whatever. But yeah, supposedly they're, we're going to, be better this time. And, you can just do what you're currently doing, and please, they were telling government officials to come back. Yep, yeah. They were telling government officials and kind of the smart people and shit to come back and keep doing your job because we need you and we're gonna do this together and all this good stuff. But it still sounds like they're still going door to door and doing the same thing already.
And it's, I mean, I don't know. It's all. Honestly, I think a lot of it's clickbait. Really, because how do people have these accounts? Because most of the Americans that are probably in Afghanistan are probably evacuated or at the airport.
Yep.
So how do they know that people are going door to door? You know what I mean? How do they know all this stuff?
Yeah, it's the citizens there that are going through it on different reports online. But
it's one of those things where, are they going door to door to harass you, or are they just going door to door to say, hey, we're in charge now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't fuck with us.
No, that's true.
I will say my heart literally shattered because I saw a very graphic video last night of the U.S. Air Force planes leaving the airport with those crowds of people. And then right after takeoff, there were Afghan citizens who were falling right after takeoff because they were so desperate to leave.
Yep.
They didn't want us to leave, and we let them down. Wow. So my heart breaks for all those citizens.
It's one of those things where after a certain point, I mean, you just can't. You can't stay there and just keep dishing money to these guys, especially after the Afghan government gave up. Fuck those guys, dude. I am all out on Afghanistan after the government just gave up and were like, alright, fuck it, we're not gonna win. Dude, come on. You have an Air Force, you have ground troops, we've been training you for fucking 20 years. You're just gonna, give up your arms and give up? That's freaking ridiculous.
So have you seen, have you seen the footage of Afghan's military training? It's not good. I just feel obligated that we've been there for so long, and the fact that we didn't have a plan to actually leave that country.
We never really put in a real plan to actually get these guys set up to take over.
It was literally just pack our bags, see ya.
Well,
no plan for them.
Our plan was never to reestablish anything.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
No plan. There was never no plan.
Our plan was to kill Osama bin Laden and to kill those who
who
fucked us for 9/11.
Stayed there forever and didn't do anything after that.
Yeah.
And besides, a lot of those terrorists are still alive.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things.
And fun fact, so I was telling Josh this an hour before the podcast. this is true, by the way. You know, Osama bin Laden, I'm not excusing his actions. That man was horrible. He was a part of it.
Yeah.
You do know that he actually wasn't the mastermind behind 9/11. He is not the person who was the key architect in it.
Why?
You know, doubt it.
Why wasn't he?
Or who was or what?
Khalid Muhammad. He's detained in Guantanamo Bay right now.
Guantanamo?
He was the key architect in planning 9/11. Osama bin Laden was the man who recruited all the hijackers. And
He went through with the plan, basically.
yes.
Yeah.
So Muhammad just wrote everything out. He's like, Osama was basically his secretary. He's like, okay, go do this.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
And there is one man that's still alive. He took over the leader of Al Qaeda when Osama died. I'm not sure what his last name is. I don't want to try and pronounce it because it's a little hard. All I know is his name is Ayman. I know it's Ayman. I can't for the life of me remember it. And I just can't pronounce it, but he's currently the most wanted man in America on the FBI's most wanted terrorist. His bounty is $25 million.
Damn.
Them.
He was Osama bin Laden's right-wing man, and he's one of the terrorists we're still trying to find. And when you think about it, Osama bin Laden, you guys know how Osama bin Laden came to light, right?
Nope.
It was the 1997, I think. It was the Kenya embassy bombing, where Al Qaeda bombed the U.S. embassy in Kenya, killing over 200 people and injuring over 1,000. That was Osama planned that. That's what put him on the map. That's what put him on the FBI's 10 most wanted list.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I was gonna say because the Taliban already have over 2/3 of the country.
They do.
In Afghanistan. But Biden basically on Monday said that he stands by his decision and kind of deflecting it on others, saying, it was Trump's agreement with the Taliban.
He blamed everybody except himself.
Yeah, yep.
He
And he also...
Everybody pushed towards the Afghan military.
You want me to say his statement?
Yes,
or?
let me hear it.
Yep,
Let me hear it.
That's what I was trying to do. All right. So, basically he blamed it for Trump's previous agreement with the Taliban. That once I took over, he was forced into. The choice that he had to make was to follow through with the current agreement or combat the Taliban, is what he's saying. After 20 years, he has learned the hard way that there is never a good time to pull armed forces, and this happened faster than we anticipated about the Taliban actually taking over. They expected them to take over in about 30 or 90 days. After, all this happened, it was about 90 hours when they took the whole thing over. And basically at the end of the day, he said, I'm the fourth president to have to make decisions in Afghanistan, and I don't plan on passing it to a fifth president. And that's kind of what you were going along with saying too, Josh. And his closing statement was, I'm the president of the United States of America, and the buck stops with me.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, I think it was a smart decision. It's been 4 administrations that we've dealt with this, and I think it's time that it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Biden does have some to blame. He hasn't only been the president for a year. He's been a politician for 50 years. So he has made plenty of decisions, and has been involved in other decisions about Afghanistan for his whole life.
He's been around plenty. Me and Josh were watching a video about everything he said in Afghanistan since 9/11.
So,
and
yes, definitely have plenty of blame to have this.
And as everyone knows, you guys know that Joe Biden opposed the raid to kill Osama bin Laden. He was the only person to oppose the raid. And when he sits there and says we killed Osama bin Laden, he says you didn't want to do it. How can you sit there and say we?
He's still an American citizen.
He still lives with
That's just if you're on the football team and you didn't play, but your team won, are you going to say we won, or do you say they won?
But that's not a sports thing. This is,
the same deal.
he had an actual put-in, he had a vote. He said, are we going to go through with this or
but
not?
it's the
And he
same
said
deal.
no, he didn't want to do
I think
it.
it's more of acknowledging the ramifications of
He said he didn't want Osama bin Laden to be killed.
Yeah, he just probably scared about the repercussions that could have happened. I mean, they didn't do shit about it really, but it could have been. It could have been a lot worse. They could have been like, "Well, fuck these guys. We're gonna bomb the shit out of America."
Exactly.
You think they really start a war they can't win?
I don't know. They're
Al Qaeda.
Well, so you're saying they haven't won, or they're gonna win?
You were saying that they were going to bomb us. Do you think they'd really have the balls to bomb us? If
They
don't even
didn't
shoot
shoot
us?
have always been a very extremist group, you know. That's
They
why.
did.
Yeah,
That's
because
why
they sneak into the country. Like you're saying, like actually, like
not
sit there,
full out
shoot
war,
rockets.
but the way
from
that
there.
they,
They can't
the way
do
that
that.
they do
bad.
fight, the way that they do
They're
fight
gonna
is
do the
scary.
same
Yeah.
shit, yeah. The
Yeah.
bomb the
It's terrorism. It's
presidential building,
terrorism. Yeah.
And dude, Russia's tearing us apart, literally, in their news and shit.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
scrolled
everything's
through there, and Putin's like just putting Biden on blast, and basically have called it political humiliation for the West and Biden's administration as a whole.
Putin has a Twitter.
No, it was and it was on a Russian news site that
site?
I actually saw it. I can't remember, Worldwide News. Can't remember what it is, but
No,
I'm just gonna say this is a very interesting time.
this will go
around
down
the
in
world.
Biden's legacy, no
Yeah.
matter what the outcome is
Because
in the
even-
next couple of years.
Because even people on CNN are critiquing him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, CNN critiquing
Yes,
president?
they are.
Wow.
No, but they're critiquing
never
a
happens.
Democrat.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's
You know
so
what's crazy is
crazy.
I saw Fox News doing it too.
Yeah. Well, they definitely all are right now, but
I think it's ridiculous, honestly. I think that
I think it's a good move.
I think it's just a bunch of honestly, like the whole news outlets. I think it's just a bunch of clickbait nowadays. Nobody actually reports news. They just report what people want to hear. People want to hear the nitty gritty. They want to hear that he's fucking.
And
up.
that's my question at the end of the day. The only reason why we had a base there was to be closer to stuff in that area,
Yeah.
to be closer to the Taliban in case something goes wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the point of us staying there now?
I mean, we've got all the lithium ion we need out of that country. If anybody doesn't know, Afghanistan is one of the foremost countries who have lithium ion deposits in that country. You know what lithium ion makes?
What, car batteries?
Batteries.
That's what I figured, yeah.
You know what America is gearing towards? Electric cars.
Yeah.
Ipso facto. That's probably why it went on as long as it did, honestly, and with the whole technology
Or
resurgence.
also related to oil.
So what do you guys think
Yeah.
of the Taliban invading and doing an interview in the president's office of Afghanistan?
I would too. Fuck it. It's their
Yeah.
country now.
So, like, with all those planes taking off, all the Afghans are begging us, please don't leave. We need you. Like, we need your help.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but at this point, I don't think it's a problem that we can fix by ourselves anyway. I think it's a problem that if we were gonna really take a full stance on it, it's something we need to take to like the United Nations and work together as like multiple countries invested in trying to fix it.
I think we just need to pull out of that.
I
bitch
think
and
we should
just-
just well, yeah.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly
I think
agree.
this is a good move, honestly. Even though it's terrible to leave the Afghan people, we haven't
We
really
have
been
to do
doing
it
them good
now.
anyway,
Yeah,
honestly.
we have to do
But
it
we
eventually.
didn't. My thing is, we didn't have a plan to leave.
And I agree with that, yeah. I agree this plan was shitty. I do think there are
There
problems
was no
because
plan,
we
though.
did leave like translators and human rights activists there.
Yeah.
We did leave
But
a bunch of equipment and munitions there too.
It's one of those things, though. But like, so we didn't have a plan. But how? What do you do then? What would you do, Justin?
Did
What
you
would
just
you
say? Did you just say we left a lot of guns and ammunition?
Yeah,
there?
we
definitely
left. I
There's
think I
literally,
saw
like,
3 to
there's,
5
videos
billion.
of the Taliban and like an American Humvee. I saw that
Yeah.
today.
$3 to
So
$5
that's-
billion worth of equipment.
So
U.S.
that's a good
equipment
thing.
and
So that's a good thing.
No, I said that's one of the bad things. That's not a good
I
thing.
did
No,
not hear you
no,
say
I
that.
said
I was
is-
gonna, okay, I just want to check. Cause,
No,
like,
yeah, that's what
because
I
I
said.
swear you're just like, oh, we left them guns and ammunition. Like, wait,
No.
that is
Well, hold
not
on,
a
hold
good
on.
thing.
We're not gonna skip this question. Justin, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah, you said we had no plan. So what's your plan?
So my plan would be. So I would say we need to start. What are you laughing over there?
nothing. All right, let's do it. I'm just preparing myself for this plan. Here we go.
So
Listen
my
up,
plan
Biden.
is that we need to coordinate with the UN, and we need to. So my thing is, we cannot pull out 100%. We cannot leave that country unsupervised.
Yeah, we can't be
because-
like a couch and just pull out real quick.
You can
right?
let me finish.
Yep, go ahead.
A country like that where there are terrorists, not all of them, it's the Taliban I'm talking about, horrible people. We cannot leave that country unsupervised, because when we leave a country like that unsupervised, the Taliban will roll in with their Humvees into any little town they want and take over, shooting their AKs in the air. That's why I think we do need to keep troops on the ground. Not as many as we had, but we need to have a good amount there.
You're saying it's like, yeah, we should have placed it
We
squarely
should
on
not-
ourselves. We could have had like a united force there.
Yes,
I'm
like
saying
not
that's
just
not
us.
fair.
We
That's
need to
that's
have
not a
all.
terrible. I mean, yeah.
Let's just
Like,
refund
yes-
the police in Afghanistan.
Like what I'm saying is, yes, we had a lot of troops there, but I feel we were the only country really contributing to that. I think we needed all of our allies
that's
to
what
come
I would
in,
agree with
and
too.
we needed to have it mutual. Because if you think about it, we have how many countries does the U.S. have troops on the ground in?
Oh,
Nico Pusateri, he's in
A lot of
Jordan
them.
right now, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Almost
have,
all of
we have
them.
people in Kuwait. I mean, we have people in Japan.
Yeah,
we have
but
people in lots of places.
A country like Afghanistan to just go from thousands of troops on the ground and just say, "Yep, we're all out." That's devastating to that country.
Yeah,
Yep.
true.
It would turn into another Somalia.
And what do you think's gonna happen in, like, let's say in 3 months when we start getting like beheadings on TV and shit again? We're gonna send people back.
No,
It's
I
gonna get-
think we're done.
We're done?
for sure.
Unfortunately, I think the government's just going to look at it, toss it over their head, and say, "Oh well, it's not our problem,"
At this point,
which
it's
is
gonna
just
be
very
hopefully-
scary.
So if your plan goes to fruition, you're calling up all your NATO countries, and you get France.
All our allies.
our allies are NATO countries.
Mm-hmm.
And you get France on the phone. Oh no, we're not in the war.
I don't
That's
think
my
that's what
friend.
friends sounds like.
Okay, that's
That's my. They're waving their white flag, you know.
that's
like my-
cultural appropriation at its finest.
That was like a fucking
Oh,
nursing
no.
home, bro.
Yeah, what was that?
We're not in the war.
That sounds.
And then you call up your friends in Britain, and they're like, well, wait, France is out. All right, we're out too.
Wait, why do they sound like Americans?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And then you call up Germany, and they're like, no. Okay, now what do you do? If all your allies say no, like the current situation
It's
that we're
worth a
in,
shot.
Well, then they're not our allies.
so
Yeah.
you're gonna go to war with.
I never said I was going to go
France?
to war with them, but that's just like our allies want to support us because we're going for a good cause. It's not like we're going for a bad cause.
Let me ask
I
one more
think I-
But
question.
there's no cause at this point, correct? What's the cause now? In this current day and
to
age,
keep the
to help
Afghan
them.
citizens safe. Keep
safe
them
from
safe.
what?
The Taliban invading their cities and
But
beheading
the
all of them.
Taliban are saying they're gonna be safe.
Yeah,
And you
how
believe
long does that
and you
last,
believe a
though?
word that the Taliban says. You know, Jen Psaki got on her knees and put her hands together and she's like, "Please, whatever you do, don't burn our embassy. If you're gonna do that." That's equivalent to a serial killer about to slit my throat and I say, "Please, before you do this, please get me a bouquet of flowers that I can hold before." Like what?
I mean, you're gonna go off those same people that knelt for George Floyd for like 30 minutes in the state
What is
capitol.
that? What does that have to do with anything that we're talking
Just
about?
saying
right
they're
now?
all a bunch of clowns, bro. That's all I'm
Al Qaeda's a bunch of clowns.
No, the fucking.
Oh, so Al Qaeda
United
isn't a bunch
States
of clowns.
government. It's not Al Qaeda. This is the Taliban. It's a different group.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just like
And
saying.
the Taliban, they're
that's just
they're
like-
both terrorists. They're both bad people. Like I don't get why you're giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, so for example, Russia calls us a bunch of idiots, right?
Yeah, who cares?
So
what they
then,
think?
so then, does that mean that France, because they're close, or Great Britain, because they're close allies with us, does that mean they're a bunch of fucktards too? No.
I really don't understand.
You
what
think
you're
Russia
asking
is
me.
calling them a bunch of fucktards because we're a bunch of fucktards?
I don't understand.
Just by
what-
association.
what
You
you
can't,
just
you
asked
can't
me.
associate the Taliban with Al Qaeda just because they're friends with them.
Well, that was a mis. I didn't mean to say Al Qaeda. I meant to say the Taliban. Correction on my part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I said the Taliban. I meant Al Qaeda.
No,
Or, excuse me.
yeah.
Other way around.
Same thing.
It's just a circle, but I don't think it's fair to base it off of like 90s stuff. Just say, hey, the Taliban are fucking terrible, when they haven't really been doing
They are
shit.
terrible.
They haven't really been doing anything since then.
So that means they're good people.
No, but I mean, it's
So they do good stuff.
no worse than Somalian dictators.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Taliban right now.
I thought we were talking about Al Qaeda. I'm just kidding. No, my one question for this, and then
Yep.
maybe we quick go to something else. But before we run out of time.
Yeah, this is getting a little heated.
No, well, my question
That's
is,
good.
let me just
We
dumb
like
it
it.
down.
Love you, buddy.
Let me just dumb it down, literally.
Oh,
So, your two friends are having an argument, right? So you're helping both the friends like get along, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, all right, you guys figure it out. Are you gonna call your buddies to help the two friends figure it out?
Wait, repeat the question again.
I like that analogy.
So you got two friends and they're arguing, right?
Give me names for both.
All right, name one is Taliban. Name two is Afghanistan, right? They're just fighting, bro, and us as the U.S. we're the mediator. Okay, here's a cookie for you and here's a cookie for you. Now go share this glass of milk. And they're shooting Nerf bullets at each other and playing laser tag, right? Whatever. And then you're like, oh well, they're having a good time. They're getting along. Let's just back out here,
But they're not having a good time.
At the moment,
And
it's not anymore.
And
that
you're
we backed
acting like,
out,
but you're saying it's like 50-50 that they're evenly strength.
But honestly,
That is absolutely not true.
But honestly, at the current moment,
But what does that mediator have anything to do with anything? They're just there to help for the meantime. Why is the mediator wasting their whole career when they
They're
can
not
go
a
do a
medi-
different job?
They're not a mediator. They're an intervener. They're trying to step
The
in.
fuck is an intervener?
Intervention, like that. They're intervening.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I call that different, really. Intervention is...
Like, you guys are kind of downgrading the Taliban. Do you not understand how
I
bad
agree that they're not
evil
equals. I was
these
trying to
people
dumb
are?
it down. I think it was a good analogy.
I think that they're not as bad as people are portraying it. Yeah, I think they're gonna make mistakes, and yeah, I think they're gonna fuck up at some point.
I should have given them names.
Do stupid shit, but I don't think that it's gonna be as bad as people think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna do Sharia law like everybody anticipates they're already gonna do. People are gonna bitch about it because everybody likes bitching about stuff.
People bitches about shit.
And as long as they do all the things they're saying they're gonna let people do, which so far all seems to be legit. They're saying, hey, we want to be friends with all our allied countries around us. We don't want to make enemies. We're not here to piss people off. We just want to be chill. We want to let people still go to school. We're just in control. How long that lasts, we don't know.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it doesn't look as bleak as what people are making it out to be by hanging on to landing gear of U.S. military planes and getting killed in 40,000 altitude weather.
Do you believe the Taliban has credibility?
Not necessarily.
I don't think he's saying that they
From
have
what you
credibility.
just said, that's what it sounds
No, I
like.
don't think
No.
he's saying they have credibility.
I'm just saying
I think he's
it's
just saying that
Not as bad as it
it's not
it
gonna.
sounds.
The region isn't gonna explode in on itself, but the region is going to destabilize.
I don't think it's gonna be like it was in the 90s where they're literally just doing bullshit. Women couldn't go outside and stuff. But I think it's gonna be a lot better because it's just so modern now. Everybody sees everything right away. It's not just like how it was in 2000s where if something happened in Afghanistan, like some bullshit, America, we probably wouldn't even hear about it because news sources take forever to get stuff to Americans. You have to watch it on the nightly news back in 2000. You didn't have news on your phone back then.
Yep.
What was it on CNN that I saw? It was during the Taliban raiding, and CNN posted a headline, but they're wearing masks. How responsible? Did anyone else see
Really?
that?
I
No.
didn't see that.
I have a screenshot
I
of
thought
it.
you said you liked CNN.
When did I say that? Please tell me when I
Alright.
said that. So
Everyone
I
go back to episode
please tell me.
7.
Hold on.
Justin
Please,
admits.
please tell me when I said that so I can go up to my room and beat the shit out of myself for ever saying something that stupid.
Would you
Episode 7.
Episode 7. What was the title of the episode? What was the date?
Justin likes CNN.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
do a cricket noise.
That was a trumpet or trombone.
That's a
Okay.
trombone.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
Not gonna
like
lie. I think we need a soundboard or something.
That's a trumpet.
Yo, what are the odds you wake Justin up with that every morning?
I did it. Who did I do that to? I did it to somebody. I did it to Wyatt a couple weeks back. I pulled up on my phone. I put it right in his face. He didn't even wake up. The kid was out like a fucking light, dude.
Funny. Well, shit. Speaking out like a light, we better get out this bitch.
Is it that time already?
It is
No
that time.
way, it's that time already. I love this podcast. This is a good episode.
Yeah, it's after that time, you know. Thanks for tuning in. We'll definitely do some shit next week. You know how we do. You got anything else, Josh? Nothing, huh?
I guess nothing.
Guess nothing. Here we are. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace out. Shout out on Badlands Bigstick,
Do
baby.
trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it. I got that new whip. Jose the do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it.